When people think of the Philippian church, the last thing they think of is disunity. In fact, when people speak of the church at Philippi, they tend to think of harmony. Joy is used repeatedly throughout the letter. This is a positive, an upbeat letter. And so folks think as if though all is in good repair. But a closer reading of Philippians begins to show that there are fissures in the fellowship. There are cracks in the congregation. This can be seen at the outset where Paul says time and again, all. So he's trying, even at the outset, to call them to concord in Christ, harmony as a community. As you read further in the letter in chapter 2, Paul says, "Do nothing out of selfishness or vain conceit, but with humility of mind. Let each one another regard the other as more important than the self." But the smoking gun or the telltale sign is when you get in chapter 4. For it's here where Paul says to two women, it could have well been two men, it just happened in this instance to be two women who were at crossways one with another. He says, "I urge you, Euodia," which means good path, pleasant way. "I urge you, Syntyche," good luck. "I urge you, pleasant path, I urge you, good luck, to think the same things in the Lord." So what we see is that there was conflict between these two women. And Paul is saying, instead of working at cross purposes, work for the purposes of the cross. Back in chapter 2, he has called the congregation to have this habit of mind among themselves, which was also in Christ Jesus. And then in this powerful poetic piece, this meditation upon Christ's person, be it a hymn that was preformed, or be it a passage that Paul pens afresh, this is a passage that has captured the imagination of Christians, both from that time until now. Jesus Christ is the one whose mindset is to be our own, who, although he existed in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be grasped, but he emptied himself. He humbled himself and was ultimately exalted. So Jesus Christ becomes then the example that Euodia, Syntyche, all the Philippian fellowship is to follow, by not seeking his own good, but the good of the other. So we're reminded that even in the midst of Jesus' own ministry, he can say that the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So how does Paul seek to deal with the disunity? By placing before them the example of Christ, and by calling them to imitate and to incarnate his presence in their midst, by being a joyful people, by being mindful of their common commitment to the gospel, and by being prayerful and reciprocal in their relationships.